I'm telling you, I've done all these exercises so many times, I can sleep in less than 1 minute. But that took practice. Has it happened to you that the moment you lay your head on the pillow and you're about to go to sleep, a million thoughts, worries, concerns, fears, decisions to be made, they're just storming in your head, and you feel that you are too overwhelmed to actually fall asleep. And it takes you hours to fall asleep, or maybe you wake up in the middle of the night and it's difficult again to go back to sleep. Has it happened to you? Well, this is why we're here today, and that's what we're going to discuss. Hi, I'm Vassia. I'm a psychologist, and this is my YouTube channel where I'm sharing useful, I hope, tips on protecting your mental health, building mental strength, actually, and balanced and healthy relationships. Today, we're going to talk about sleep and how we can actually empty our mind before we go to bed, and how we can actually master that skill, because it's a skill. It's not you either have it or you don't. It's not something you're born with or not. It's a skill that we practice and then we're becoming better at it every single day. And why is that important? Because sleep and mental health, they are so connected. And we know that from our very, very young age. We're babies, and we know, you've heard people saying, well, my baby didn't have a good sleep, and now today they're crying the whole day, they're grumpy. We know that. We are grumpy when we don't have a good night's sleep, at least grumpy. We don't have energy. We cannot focus. We are not productive. We don't like anything around us. We're so annoyed by everything, easily irritated, picking up fights with people around us. So we know that they're so connected with our mental health, but also with our physical health. Let me read to you what was shared by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Chronic sleep deprivation has been linked to various health issues, including diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, obesity. It's just some of them, right? It affects our body. Our body doesn't work. A weak immune system, right? So this is what's happening when we are deprived of sleep for, of course, a long time. I'm not talking about a day or two. That can happen to anybody. And we should be forgiving to ourselves when this happens once or twice, right? Let's not be perfectionists. See, I also added perfectionism here. So, what I want to share with you today is 4 tips that you can take with you and you can start practicing on this skill. How you can have a good night's sleep, how you can empty your mind before going to bed. And the way that I'm going to present it to you is by telling you what doesn't work, what works, and what works even better. Let's start with my first note, which is, when you go to bed and you start thinking about the next day, the decisions that you need to make, the meetings that you have to participate, the things that you need to say, the presentations that you need to do as well. All these things are just running in your head. And of course, your brain thinks that if you go through all these scenarios 10 to 100 times, you're going to be better prepared. But that has never happened. You're going to be overwhelmed. You're going to be dizzy in your head. You're going to be overwhelmed with all these thoughts, and you're not going to be actually as productive or efficient as you want. So this doesn't work. When you just think about all this simultaneously, when you go to bed, it's not going to work. You're not going to make any good decisions. That doesn't work. What works is if anything that comes to your head, instead of keeping it into your head, you just have a notebook next to you and you just put your thoughts there. So, for example, let's not forget tomorrow to call my manager and discuss about an important decision. Okay, because you didn't think about it beforehand, okay, you can put it in the note and then you can just take it from your head and just put it there. This is a good method so that you don't hold this information. We are holding this information and we're repeating it so many times because our brain is afraid that we're going to forget it. So we're repeating it, repeating it, repeating it so that we don't forget. But instead, let's put it on a piece of paper. That works. What works even better is if the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes of your working day, you prepare for the next day. You just go and check the agenda of the next day. You make notes on what you want to do first, what you want to do second, what is a priority, what is urgent, what are the emails that need to be sent, or what are the calls that need to be made. Just prepare for the next day so that your brain again doesn't feel that it needs to remind you of what's important and you have forgotten. So that will already take some burden from your brain. I'm not saying that this is the only solution. That's one possible solution, because we know sometimes when we're not prepared for the next day, we get overwhelmed just when we're about to go to sleep. Second tip, what are we going to do with the phone and social media? I know that many of you are using social media and your mobile phone in order to silence the noise that we said before. Just because all the thoughts about the work, about the decisions, about the tasks will just bombard me, in order to handle that, I'm just checking my phone. And that doesn't work. And I will tell you why it doesn't work. It works only temporarily, but it doesn't work in the long term. It doesn't work because social media or just being on the phone, it has an impact on the quality of our sleep. The effect of blue light is not helping us actually to prepare ourselves with the right amount of melatonin in order to sleep. So it doesn't help. Blue light doesn't help. But also, you are on your phone thinking that you are distracted from your work information or schedule information, but actually you're still consuming information. You're just checking. And actually, it's happening so fast that your brain is still working. Maybe you're not working on your work task, but your brain is working, absorbing information, trying to process this information. So you're still imposing cognitive stimulation on your brain, and that's why it doesn't work. You're not giving your brain the chance to rest, to gradually go to rest mode so that you can fall asleep. So that doesn't work. That's why it doesn't work, right? It works if you're watching videos with kittens and puppies or funny videos, yes, because also it makes you, go into a more resting and pleasant feeling. Yes, that might help. It helps also when you're listening some calming music, when you're just having your earphones without checking your screen. That works. What works even more is if you don't use your phone at all, if you just have it in a different room. Because, yes, you may watch videos with kittens and puppies, but can you guarantee that you're not going to cross the line and you will start checking your emails, or you will not see a message from WhatsApp telling you something about the next day, or somebody asking you a favor and then worrying about it? Can you guarantee that you're not going to jump the line and watch the news of your, community, country, whatever, and you're not going to start down spiraling, thinking of the future of the planet, of your country, whatever? Can you guarantee that? You're just on your phone watching kittens and puppies, but can you guarantee that you're not going to cross the line? I think it's so difficult. It needs great amount of discipline every single day. So that's why I say the best solution is actually just no phone at all. Find another activity, read a book, have some music so that you can relax. Anything else but phone. Third tip, negative thinking. We know about negative thinking. We usually start thinking about the day before, not only the day after, but also the day before. thinking about the things we shouldn't have said, or we could have said differently, or decisions that we have made, or how stressful our life is, or how our spouse or partner complained about something, and are we really happy in that relationship? We can spiral very easily into negative thinking. So that doesn't help again, because we're not resolving anything. Our brain thinks that we are resolving something, but we are not. We're just ruminating, useless rumination. So that doesn't work. What works is journaling. Take your notebook, take your journal, and start writing your thoughts, expressing your feelings, expressing your notes. Put everything that you have in your head, put it on paper. That helps. What helps even better is gratitude journaling. So instead of thinking of all the things that don't work and just putting them on paper, or maybe processing negative thoughts and negative feelings, what about processing what works in your life? Writing down things that you like about your life, people that you're grateful for having in your life, things that happened to you today and you're really appreciative of that. Writing this thing, because that changes completely the balance, the chemical balance in your head, in your brain. You're actually producing more happiness hormones at that moment, and that can help also with falling asleep. Now, my fourth tip is about tossing around. It's about the physical activity. So you cannot go to sleep and you're tossing around and you're changing sides and you're all constantly moving and you're getting upset. That doesn't help. I've tried that. It doesn't help. Your body awakens. It doesn't go to sleep, awakens. You feel even more pumped up. Your muscles work double, and it's even more difficult. So, especially if you cannot stay in one place, what can you do instead? Because that doesn't work. What works is progressive muscle relaxation. This is where you practice relaxing muscles of your body, groups of muscles of your body, and you start from toes. So, what you actually do, it's a very simple exercise, but it helps us actually relax, because we learn to recognize when our body is relaxed and when it's not. So, what you do, you start with your toes, and then you just tense your toes, you tense, and then you let them loose, you relax them. And once you do that 2, 3 times, then you move to another set of muscles. Maybe you do it around your knees or your calves. You do it again, you tense them, and then you relax them. And then you move to your upper legs and you do the same thing, very slowly and very gradually. That's progressive muscle relaxation. Then you go up in the torso and you go to your arms and hands, and you go to your face, the jaw, ears. You do that all from the whole body, from up to the upper body. And then that's how you also learn how to do it, not only before sleep, but generally, so that you can bring your body into a state of relaxation. And what works, I'm not going to say even more, because I think they're equally helpful. Mindfulness. Mindfulness means that even though your brain goes to different directions, what you do is you bring it back. People complain, I don't do mindfulness right. My mind always wanders. Yeah, but that's the exercise. You're doing it correctly. Yes, when your mind wanders, you just bring it up, and your mind is going away again, and you bring it back. That's the exercise. The exercise is not being 100% focused all the time. It's about bringing your thoughts back to the present moment. And maybe bringing it back to the present moment is difficult. So we just need an anchor. And the anchor is our breath. And the breath, we can actually do it by putting our hand on the chest or on the belly. So you just put your hand on the belly, and you just go with the breath, natural breathing. You don't need to change your breathing. What helps me actually is also if I breathe. So if I say 1 breath, 2 breath, 3 breath, that helps me. It's very boring, but that's what makes me sleep when something is very boring. And then I don't count up to 100. I just count to 5, and then I go 1, 2, 3, 5 again. and 1, 2, 3, 5 again, again and again and again. I'm telling you, I've done all these exercises so many times, I can sleep in less than 1 minute. But that took practice. It takes me less than 1 minute to fall asleep because I've practiced all these. So I want you to start practicing today. And the last thing that I would like to ask you to do is practice having a bedtime routine. Do the same things every night. Go to bed the same time. If one day you go to bed at 10 and the other day you go at 1, then you're not creating a consistent pattern, and your brain doesn't know whether this is time that we are awake and stimulated, or this is time that we're falling asleep. Our brain works best with routines, with rituals. Create a consistent ritual around your bedtime routine. I hope it was helpful. Let me know your comments. Stay tuned, subscribe for more videos, and let me know which of these 4 tips actually worked best for you and what are you willing to try. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good day.